Good morning, 10th standard students. Good to be here once again, and a new week is beginning. I'm sure you enjoyed your weekend, and so we are ready to start our class for today. Our Merchant of Venice and Act 4, Scene 1, starting from line 71 onward. And I'm sure you're marking your dates also on your page. Okay, it is page 190 according to my book, and you can follow me. So as I begin this day, I want to wish you all the best. May God bless your families and bless you also and your brothers and sisters as you study further for today. God bless you again. And we begin our topic for today. Merchant of Venice, Act 4, Scene 1. And it says, I pray you, think you, question with the Jew. Okay, now here we have, we just last saw where we have Shiloh and Bassanio are trying to talk about the money that Bassanio is interested in paying, double the amount of 3,000. And but Shiloh is not at all interested in that. So we continue from there in today's topic, and we have Shiloh again. And Antonio is now talking to Bassanio, and he is trying to tell him, don't argue with Shiloh. Okay, so he says here, I pray you, I here is Antonio, and you is Bassanio. Think you again is Bassanio. Uh, think you questioned with the Jew. Jew here is Shiloh. Okay. Any use of arguing with the Jew? Bassanio, it's no use arguing with the Jew. This is what Antonio is trying to tell his friend Bassanio, who's come to see him and to rescue him from the clutches of Shiloh. So he says, you may as well go stand upon the beach and bid the main flood bait his usual height. Okay. Now here Antonio is trying to compare Shylock with different kinds of things. First, he's comparing him with the tides of the ocean, the height of the ocean, height of the waves. He says, "Can you reduce the height of the wave?" This is how Shylock is. You cannot expect anything from Shylock. So he says, "Bid the main flood bait." Flood bait is the ocean flood. It does not refer to the river, it refers to ocean. Bait is the reducing of the tide of the ocean. Okay. And then he says his usual height, the waves of the ocean. Okay. Therefore, it uses his here as waves as a kind of a person. Okay. And then he says, you may as well use the question with the wolf. Okay. The second comparison that Antonio is making for Shylock is about the wolf who has destroyed or killed and eaten the sheep, the lambs, little goat, a little kid. And so he says, can you stop the sheep from grieving over the loss of our lamb, little lamb that the wolf has eaten? In the same way, you cannot expect anything from Shylock. The third comparison you say, now you here is in this extract is Bassanio. Okay, wherever you see you write it Bassanio. So you may as well forbid the mountain pines to wag their high tops and to make no noise. The third comparison that Antonio is making about the pine trees in the forest, in the mountains. You know, when the wind comes and the storm comes there in the forest or in the mountains, you cannot stop the top part of the pine trees from waving. Okay, they will be waving left to right, right to left, and you cannot stop them. In the same manner, he's comparing Shylock. See, you cannot change his behavior. He is bent on taking his revenge on me. So let him have his fill or his revenge from me. So you may as well forbid, you stop the mountain pines from moving left to right. To wag is to wave, okay. Their high tops, the top of the trees, okay, tree tops, and to make no noise. You know, when they are waving, the leaves are just going left to right. They make certain kind of rhythmic sound. And he says, can you stop that? In the same way, we cannot stop Shylock from having his pound of flesh. Now we look at here, three things are compared to Shylock. First is the beach, okay, where you stand and you look for the tides of the ocean. And can you stop those high tides and make them reduce? No, we cannot. And then second is the sheep which is grieving over the loss of a lamb eaten by the wolf. The third is the mountain pines which cannot be stopped from their making noise. So when we look at these three kind of comparison made by this Antonio for Shiloh, and then he says, you may as well do anything most hard. You here is again Bassanio, as seek to soften that than which what's harder. Okay. Nothing is more difficult to soften the heart of Shiloh. You try anyhow, any hard, but you will not be able to succeed in softening the heart of Shiloh. So then he says, his Jewish heart is the heart of Shylock, who happens to be a Jew. Therefore, I here is Antonio, do beseech you, request you, you here is Bassanio, make no more offers. Please do not request him any more for the request on my behalf. Okay, no favors from me. Use no further means, okay, no other methods to convince him not to take his pound of flesh, okay. But with all brief and plain conveniency, let me have judgment and the Jew his will. Okay, now here, let me peacefully, okay, let him have his uh, will, that is a pound of flesh near my heart, and let me have my judgment. Whatever judgment will be given in my favor, I will accept it. So he is requesting Bassanio not to make any request to Shylock anymore. Bassanio, for thy 3,000 ducats here is 6. Bassanio is talking to Shylock. Now I offer you, instead of 3,000 ducats, I offer you 6,000 ducats. And Shylock told Duke, what judgment shall I dread? What is the judgment I expect from you? He says, what judgment shall I dread? I here is Shylock, and he has doing were in his 6 parts, and every part a ducat. Even if every part of 6 is multiplied by 6, I will not accept. Even if he gives me 6 times into 60, these 6,000 ducats, I will not accept the money. I will only accept the pound of flesh. This is how adamant Shylock is here. I would not draw them. That means I would not accept the money. I here is Shylock. I would have my bond. I here is Shylock. I would have my bond. Duke to Shylock. How shall thou hope for mercy rendering none? Now Duke is trying to convince him for the last time. He is telling him, if you are not giving mercy to others, how will you expect mercy from others? If you don't show mercy to others, nobody is going to show mercy to you. So this is what Duke is trying to tell Shylock for the last time. Shylock to Duke. What judgment shall I dread? Doing no wrong. Okay. I hear is Shylock. He says to Duke, I have not done anything wrong. So nobody is going to judge me. Nobody has the right to judge me because I have not done anything wrong. That means why should I show mercy? Okay, if I have not done anything wrong. You have among you a many purchased slaves, like your asses and your dogs and mules you use in abject and slavish paths because you bought them. Okay, now we have here. You here is referring to Christian. We know that Venice is full of Christians as well as Jew, less number of Jew and more number of Christians. So we have many numbers of Christians here. He says, you have purchased many slaves and you treat them like dogs, mules, okay? And abject here refers to degrading, okay? Give ill treatment, okay? Here in the sense here, slavish is like a slave, okay? So you are treating your men whom you have purchased from Africa or other countries of the world, and you are treating them like slaves. Okay. You treat them very badly. You don't give them good treatment. You don't give them good food. You don't give them good clothing, but you make them slave like a dog or a ass or a mule. Okay. Like animals. Okay. Treating them like animals. When he refers to dogs and mules and asses, he is referring to treating the slaves like animals. Because you bought them. Why are you treating them like this? Because you have brought them. Now you here refers to Christian. He is referring to the whole Christian community. Shall I say to you, now he says, I here is Shiloh. Let them be free. Them here is slaves, okay, under burden. Okay, let them be free. Marry them to your heirs. Now, heir here means the children. Okay, you give them the freedom and let them get married to your children, Christian children. Okay, don't treat them like slaves. This is what he is expecting from the Christian, who they are treating the slaves as slaves. Uh, Let them be free, marry them to your heir. Why sweat they under burden? Why are they treated like a burden for you, and yet you make them do the work? Okay, so here it says you make them work hard. They here as slaves of Christians. Let their beds be made as soft as yours. Okay, their beds are very hard. Let make their beds like your bed. Give them the comfort. Make beds here means they give them the comfort of your home and like you yourself. Don't treat them like slaves. And let their palates, okay, give them the full appetite, full food that they need to eat. You don't give them full food to eat. You don't give them good diet. So give them the full diet. Treat them like yourself. Be seasoned with such wines. Such wines is rich foods. Okay. Now give them rich foods full of proteins and diet, and you will answer the slaves are ours. And then you say, these slaves are ours. After giving them the good treatment, so do I answer you. So how can I answer you when you don't treat your slaves like your own family members? This is what he is expecting to do. So when we look at here, the pound of when we look at here, the pound of flesh which I demand of him, I here refers to Shiloh. Him here is Antonio. Is dearly bought. Okay, that means he has paid 3,000 ducats for buying the pound of flesh from Antonio. Tis mine, and I will have it. Okay, that belongs to me, and I'm going to have it. If you deny me, okay, if you deny me justice now, me here is Shiloh, fie upon your law, okay, you are disgracing the laws of, bringing shame to the laws of Venice, fie upon your laws, the laws of Venice. There is no force in the degrees of Venice, okay, that means the laws of Venice are useless, meaningless. No force in the degrees of Venice. I stand for judgment. Okay, now I am standing here for judgment. Answer, shall I have it? And I need to have my answer. Duke to Shiloh. Okay, upon my power. Okay, Duke says, I have the power to dismiss this court immediately, but I'm waiting for Dr. Bellario, the lawyer, who's going to come for this case. Okay, upon my power, Duke's power, I may dismiss this court. I here is Duke, unless Bellario is the lawyer, or he is also a learned doctor in law, whom I have sent for it to determine, to decide this, come here today. I have called him today for this case, and he is coming here, and I'm waiting for him. Otherwise, I would have dismissed the court here. Salario, my lord, here stays without. Okay, my lord, here stays without. A messenger with letters from Doctor New come from Padua. Okay, and it says, Dr. Bellario has sent the letters, and a messenger has come with the letters, and he's come from Padua. Bring us the letter, call the messenger, he says to Salario. Okay, bring the letters and the messengers. He is giving orders to Salario. Bassanio to Antonio. Good cheer, Antonio, what man courage yet? The Jew shall have my flesh, blood, bones, and all. There thou shalt lose for me one drop of blood. Okay, Bassanio is saying, now you have been disappointed with your case. Be of courage. Do not lose your courage that you are going to lose your life. Okay. Man, what man courage yet? Man here is Antonio. The Jew shall have my flesh. Okay. You are thinking that Jew is going to take a pound of flesh from you. Blood, bones, and all. Everything is going to be killed today. It is going to be the end of your life. Don't think about that. You should be encouraged that Dr. Bellario is here to fight for you and argue against your case and to see that you are given justice in this case. So he is trying to encourage Antonio here. I am a tainted wether of the flock. Okay, now here he says, tainted here refers to the sick. Wether is the sheep of the flock. So he says, Antonio is comparing himself to a sick sheep who is ready to die. You know, when you look at the sheep which is very sick, any moment the master feels the sheep is going to die. So here, Antonio feels that any moment uh, Shiloh is going to take a pound of flesh and he's going to be no more. So he's given up. Finally, he's decided to, whatever case the judgment takes over, if his life has to go by a pound of flesh, he's ready. Okay. Drops earliest to the ground. Okay. Sheep, you know, when it is sick, it falls on the ground, ready to die. In the same way, I'm also ready to die. Okay. And so let me, you cannot better be employed, Bassanio. So you cannot think all this about me. Okay, better be employed. And then says, then to live still and write mine epitaph. Okay, now he says, nothing better is for you that you wait for my death, and on my grave, you put a stone and write my epitaph. Some good words about me on my gravestone you write. This is what Antonio is feeling here in this, the last line of this passage on line 120. We are going to stop here for today, and we'll continue from here from line 121. Let's go on with uh, our workbook, page 146, I think. Yeah, 146. And I'm giving you, this is 145, we come there. What judgment shall I dread, doings no wrong? Okay, Shylock is speaking to Duke here. And we say, you have among you many a purchased slave, which like your asses and your dogs and mules. Okay, this is Shylock speaking to Duke. And this is what it says. The first question says, explain the context in which Shylock speaks these lines. Okay, Shylock is speaking to Duke. Shylock is speaking to Duke, who is advising Shylock to show mercy to others. Shylock is not interested in showing mercy as he has done nothing wrong. Full stop. Second question, how does Shylock prove that the pound of flesh that he demands belongs to him? Shylock proves that he has paid for the Antonio's pound of flesh. He has paid for the Antonio's pound of flesh by paying 3,000 ducats for Bassanio through a bond, and now it is his time. To take his pound of flesh and no more ducats. Take his pound of flesh and no more ducats. Question number 3. Explain the line, let them be free, marry them to your heir. Okay. Shylock here speaks about the slaves. Shylock here speaks about the slaves who were treated like animals by Christians in Venice. He wants them to give freedom and comfort to their slaves and marry them to their children. Fourth question, why does Shylock claim that the pound of flesh is dearly bought? Okay. Shylock claims that he has paid the money for the pound of flesh, full stop, since Antonio has not fulfilled the bond. Since Antonio has not fulfilled the bond, Shylock has right to claim that pound of flesh that he has paid for. That pound of flesh that he has paid for. Question number 5. What light does Shylock's speech throw on the character? Okay, on Shylock's character. Shylock is adamant, A-D-A-M-A-N-T. Shylock is adamant and stubborn, S-T-U-B-B-O-R-N. Okay, stubborn in his behavior towards Antonio, full stop. He is also revengeful when he speaks these lines in this scene. Okay, we have extract number 5, 147 page. Good cheer, Antonio, what man courage yet, and I am a tainted weather of the flock. So we have the two speakers, Bassanio to Antonio and Antonio to Bassanio. Where does the above given conversation takes place? The above given conversation is taking place. The above given conversation is taking place in the court of Venice. Full stop. Bassanio is here to encourage his friend and to save him from the clutches of Shiloh. C-L-U-T-C-H-E-S, from the clutches of Shiloh. Second question, what is the occasion for the above given conversation between Bassanio and Antonio? Okay, the occasion here is that Shylock is demanding a pound of flesh. Shylock is demanding a pound of flesh from near the heart of Antonio. Full stop. Bassanio is trying to cheer Antonio because Dr. Bellario, B-E-L-L-A-R-I-O, Dr. Bellario, the lawyer from Padua, has come to argue for the case of Antonio and to win it. For the case of Antonio and to win it. We go on with the third question on this, page 148. What options do you form of Bassanio from his speech? Bassanio is a true and faithful friend of Antonio. Bassanio is a true and faithful friend of Antonio who is willing to go to any extent, E-X-T-E-N-T, to save Antonio from this problem, as he dearly loves Antonio. As he dearly loves Antonio. Full stop. Question number 4. Explain the line, I am a tainted weather of the flock. Now, Antonio is comparing himself to a sick sheep who is ready to die any moment. In the same manner, Antonio has given up on his life. Antonio has given up on his life and ready to die at the hands of Shiloh. Ready to die at the hands of Shiloh. Question number 5. What feelings does the above given conversation create in you? We come to know that Bassanio was not giving up on Antonio, we come to know that Bassanio was not willing to give up on Antonio and wishes to save him, in bracket you can put Antonio, in spite of Antonio. In spite is two word, in, and then spite, S-P-I-T-E. In spite of Antonio losing hope of, saving his life from the clutches of Shiloh. We will do 6 tomorrow extract. So keep marking, and you can put your date also on your workbook passages also, as I do with you. Please copy these questions. If you do not have your workbook, I'm giving you, dictating to you the question and the beginning part of the extract. Write the beginning part of the extract, and then write the question, and then write the answer. So I'm giving you question as well as answers. You have no excuse, and don't give me, madam, I do not have the workbook, or what to do, what assignment you have given me, because you need to listen to this video very carefully and you will not have problem. God bless you as you listen to it and do your classwork today.